Alright guys, welcome back. We are playing Higurashi When They Cry. Chapter 3. Tatarigoroshi almost said Chapter 2, but no, we are on Chapter 3. We have been for like a month, so I don't know why I almost said Chapter 2. Anyway, so we have called the social worker, or the, child protection person, whatever you want to call their job title. We have called them about Satoko's situation. Um, Obviously it's going to be awful and nothing good is going to happen, right? And also I was thinking about like the fucking crazy ass scene we had last time when Keiichi asked Takano who she thinks is the one committing the murders and we just didn't get to hear it. So that's got to mean something. What were the tips again? Oh, right, I remember. Um so like what do we think is going to happen? Um they're just going to say to wait and see again, right? They aren't going to do anything about our situation. And Sadako might even feel like betrayed. Sadako probably will feel betrayed because her situation is just going to get worse, right? Her uncle is going to be crazy. My question, the thing I still don't understand, here, to mention something literally completely unrelated. Um, the whole thing with Tepe and his. I don't remember if I already said this before. I might have literally said this last time, but I don't remember if I did. The whole thing with Tepe and his, like, girlfriend or whatever who was, like, being paid by the Sonozakis and all that stuff. I think I already did say this. I don't know. In my mind, I feel like that's literally just like a red herring. I have no idea if I'm supposed to make anything of that at all. Like, I don't know. Because, like, what relation could that possibly have to anything that's going on right now? I don't know. Maybe something, but in my mind, it sure doesn't. So I don't know what to say about that. I just wanted to get that out of the way because like I read those tips again about like the Sonozaki stuff and how they were paying the his girlfriend before she died and all of that, and it's like, is it just Yakuza stuff? Does it just not matter? I don't know. Um. Anyway, that aside. Um. So Tepe, I've thought more about Tepe and him like potentially being scared of the curse, and at this point, I wonder, we don't really actually have any reason to think that, right? Like, he ran away or he disappeared. He got out of Satoko's life after Satoshi uh, ran away and after Satoshi, I think Satoshi, killed their aunt, right? Um, but is there any actual reason to assume that had anything to do with Tepe thinking the curse was going to be him next? Like, he was going to be the target of the curse? Not really. Because that's kind of been like a vague like idea I've had for a while. Is that like I don't know, Tepe is gonna be awful to Sadako because he thinks it's like all her fault. Kind of going along like in the same line of things that like Shion said about Sadako in the last chapter that she's cursed, you know. But I just don't know. I feel like we don't actually have any reason. Like, what if Tepe was actually scared of the curse and thought it was like real at all? Why on earth would he come back right before Watanagashi? You know, whatever. We're just kind of retreading the same ground I've already talked about. I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm scared. So there we go. Good. The die of fate had been cast. Yeah. Reporting to a public agency, which we'd kept being warned, could instead result in something far worse for Sadako if we didn't have the evidence first. And we kind of just did it, right? Like, and I can't blame Keiichi. I think even this goes into the same line of things as him thinking all that crazy stuff at the beginning of the last chapter about how he could have Sadako stay at his house, right? He just wants to feel like he did something, right? He wants something to happen where he can be like, okay, something about the situation has changed, right? And I think in that sense, he's not really thinking long term very much. You know, he kind of just blew up and just like let this happen without thinking about it, you know? And just like that, had I failed, had I let my emotions get the better of me in that moment, maybe I should have stayed silent and left everything to Mion, since she had been relatively calm. I remembered saying the punishment game where we had to badmouth Curry, and how me saying anything would have made it worse, and Sadako told us to leave the talking to her. Maybe it was the same thing here. I was impulsive, so maybe I should have just shut up and looked at the floor. But it was too late to lament it. The die I had thrown wouldn't be coming back into my hands. It's not really like Keiichi can control himself, right? He's always like this. He kind of is prone to these emotional outbursts. And it's some kind of like injustice in his mind, right? Whether or not it's like fair for him to be looking at things that way. It's not like he's like a generally angry person, really. But this does happen pretty often, huh? All we could do is pray for something good to happen. Oh, don't say that. He's not gonna like that. The idea that this was everything he could do.
だから、あとは先生たちに任せよう。ね。
俺にできる
Yeah, literally.
本当に俺が死に物狂いに精一杯だったら、里子を夕べのうちに連れ出して、どこかの廃屋にでも隠れてる。そうならなかったってことは、俺は精一杯じゃなかったってことだろ。
But again, I mean, if it's of her own volition and it's true what Eri said, that she views this as a trial and that she has to go through this for Satoshi to come back, you have to convince her somehow. I don't know how we can save her from this situation if she isn't, like, trying to get out of it right now, you know? I really don't know. I mean, obviously there has to be some kind of forceful separation between her and Teppei. I just have no idea, like, what kind of mechanism like that could possibly exist in Japan to, like, have that happen, you know? Because, like, it's not like, if we just go forcibly take her away from Teppei, what are we gonna do, hide her somewhere against her will? I just don't, like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it just depends how serious this whole, like, trial idea is in her head, right? Like, is it really that? I mean, I guess it is, right? She cares about Satoshi so much, and if she really views it in that way, then yeah, she would go through any amount of pain if she thinks it's gonna bring him back, right? Like, because I was thinking, like, if we really took her out of the situation and it stopped happening, would she really go back? Just for, like, Satoshi's sake in her mind? But I think she really would, right? Maybe. I guess I can imagine either way, but I mean, that's kind of the major obstacle, right?
Keiichi-kun, 少し根を詰めすぎだよ。そんな調子じゃ、Keiichi-kunまで倒れちゃう。
Just leave me alone. I left her with those words and stared lazily up at the ceiling. I wondered if I'd really got Chi-sensei to understand. Would the public agency intervene and solve everything within the day? Would they acknowledge the abuse and guarantee your safety? After lunch break, our afternoon classes were mostly self-study. The teacher came back to the classroom occasionally, but then the phone in the lounge would ring and she'd have a long conversation with the caller. Everyone in class got the feeling they knew what those phone calls were about. Oh god. Sensei came trotting back from the classroom. Okay. It looked to me like Sensei had been wearing a dark expression ever since after lunch break. It wasn't a very relieving expression. It wouldn't be. Even if Sensei 100% understood the situation and passionately explained it to the other person. At the end, the Child Consultation Center, as a public agency, would be the ones to decide whether to get her to safety. Sensei understood that as well as us, and that's why she looked so unreliable right now. Oh god. It's just so unfair, you know? It's just so, like, I guess, just like everything else in this story, in, like, the first two chapters, it's always unfair. It's always these powers beyond our control that we can't do anything about, that, like, decide everyone's fate, you know? So I don't know. It just sucks. Like, god damn it. Because it's god, I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, I guess, I mean, how do you have a better system than, like, what they're trying to do here, you know, for dealing with child abuse like this, you know? You can't just take someone away from their parents if anyone reports it as abuse, you know? They have to have some kind of process like this. So no fucking club. Are we ever gonna have club again in the entire story, ever? Like... Rena was right. It was no fun for us if someone was missing. If the teacher's expression had shown more promise, then maybe we could have gone home more comfortably. But I couldn't let myself feel relieved. I couldn't be naive and tell myself all I could do is pray, now that the dice had been cast. Just in case they didn't get her to safety and decided to wait and see again. I'd need to take further measures. We've asked the people who could do something official already. Then, there's one more place that was worth asking for help. She might laugh it off, or I might be right, and I could be endangering my own life. But I'd try.
Mion, 今日さ、お前の家に寄ってもいいか？お前、漫画 かなり持ってるんだろ。
Sure, who are you going to ask? I mean, like, Mion's family? Her grandmother? Maybe, I don't know.
少しまとめ狩りしたいんだけど
A
な。
bunch of them, that's a big ask, huh?
いいけど。
There was an ominous meaning behind my words, so Mion realized what I really meant right away. I wanted to talk about something aloud. That's what I meant.
兄ちゃん、ケイチくん、早く帰ろう。
Brenna already had her shoes on and was waving to us from the schoolyard. Mion's house was gigantic in every way imaginable. The house itself was vaguely old-fashioned, traditional Japanese house, but the yard, I guess, or their plot of land, was enormous. It easily convinced me that they really were major landowners, with Hinamizawa under their thumb. Mion brought me through the guest room, and a servant brought us some tea. A servant?
へえ、
What happened to those servants in Watanagashi? Did Shion kill them?
さすが金持ちだな。お手伝いさんなんか雇ってるのかよ。
私とバッチャしか住んでないもの。私だけじゃやってけない
Are we
よ。
gonna meet her grandmother? I would love to meet her grandmother. The servant left, telling us it was 5 o'clock, then withdrew with soft footsteps.
週に2、3回ね。バッチャの世話と
あ
か
ー
掃除の手伝いで来てくれてる。3、4人がローテーションで入ってくれてるんで、大抵毎日誰かがいてくれるよ。
So I guess they're not live-in servants, but still.
夕方までだけどね。あ、宴会とかがあって人手が欲しい時には別途に呼んでるんだけどさ。
If you had the money to hire all these people, then just take Satoko in. That's what he wants to say. I glared as I thought that, and Mion seemed to catch on immediately.
ごめん。
いいよ。金の問題じゃないことは分かってるからな。
Right, yeah. I mean, again,
先に言
like,
っとくけど、
even,
私に自由にできるお金は
yeah,
全く
sure,
ないん
she
だ
would have to convince them. It's not like it's her choice, right? They would have to, because again, to them, Satoko is just a random child, right? Like, that's piling on the unfair stuff, you know? There's lots of children all over the place who are in terrible situations like her, and every random rich person can't just take them in and be like, yeah, I'm gonna make your life not awful anymore, right? So, I mean, yeah.
そこだけは誤解しないでほしい。
And of course, Sadako also has to want it, right? She has to be fine with leaving the situation, you know? She has to, like, get through this whole trial thing. It kind of looked like I was bullying her. Mion had been apologizing to me a lot lately. Was Mion the sort of person who would do that this much? I was thinking about Mion and her reaction to, confrontation. Like, across every game, right? Across every story so far, right? In Onikakushi, in like the end, pretty much, when Keiichi was like screaming at Mion about how she's evil and not his friend and all of that stuff, what did she do? She started crying and had no idea what to do or say, right? In Watanagashi, we obviously opened up a lot more about like the softer side to her that we normally don't get to see when she's like acting like the club president all the time, the class president, right? And in this game too, it's kind of been like that, where it's like when Keiichi has been kind of very unfair to her and like essentially yelling at her, she just kind of shuts down and just like starts crying and doesn't know what to do, right? So I think that's interesting because it really makes me think more and more that she really is, all of this responsibility that she has, it really has just been like forced on her. And it doesn't even seem like she's the kind of person who like naturally deals with it very well, right? Like, all of the moments in Watanagashi where we saw Mion in a more powerful leadership role, that was actually fucking Shion, right? Like, when she was the one leading the searches for Kimiyoshi, the mayor, and for Rika and Sadako, no, that was Shion. That wasn't even Mion. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying Mion isn't a leader or doesn't have that, like, position, right? She does. She's, like, a good class president and the club leader, right? But I think in terms of, like, actual conflict and dealing with, like, I don't know, situations like this when Keiichi's acting like Keiichi, she just doesn't really know what to do. She's not, like, naturally good at it, you know? And I think in, like, Watanagashi, like, the first half when we really explored the whole Mion-Shion thing, and, like, her having this different side to her that is kind of repressed because of her, like, social position, I guess, like, as the club president and as the, you know, all this responsibility that's been forced onto her. Yeah, she really, I think naturally she isn't the kind of person who, like, thrives in positions of, like, authority like this, you know? Which is interesting. It makes it so, it's so weird that she was chosen as the chosen daughter instead of Shion, you know? When Shion seems like a social butterfly who is so, like, different, you know? I mean, Shion's whole thing about, like, I mean, it's possible that Shion has just developed her attitude in this way as, like, a reaction to the fact that Mion was chosen over her, you know? And, like, now Shion wants to try and prove she's, like, superior to Mion still. And that's, like, why she treats her the way she does and why her personality is the way it is, I guess. But, I don't know. Mion's, like, my favorite character. So, I just wanted to say all that, I guess. Was Mion the sort of person who would do this much? Who would do that this much? What's happening? Apologizing a lot? Oh, yeah, she sure is. Maybe it's just that I've been looking so grim lately. And also, just to bring that up, like, Mion is, like, such a sweetheart, like, actually. There's no way. Obviously, I'm, like, really in on the whole thing that it was definitely Shion and Watanagashi who killed everyone, but it would be so impossible for me to believe that Mion would ever do anything that Shion did, right? Like, obviously, Keiichi and Onikashi did, right? Keiichi went crazy in Onikashi and killed Rin and Mion. And obviously, like, the Keiichi we know wouldn't do that without the crazy thing that made him go crazy, right? But even that, it was so different, right? He started sobbing, and it was, like, horrible and awful after it happened, right? The Shion / Mion that we saw in the last chapter of Watanagashi was gleefully torturing her sister and being a complete lunatic, you know? I just can't in a million years imagine Mion with the kind of personality she has acting like that. I mean, it could just be, I mean, maybe I'm underestimating what makes you go crazy and how much it affects you, but Keiichi, it certainly didn't affect him that much, you know? And Mion, I don't think it would affect her that much either, because I don't think that's, like, in her mind at all. Well, with Shion, if she has all of these repressed feelings about Mion, this, like, probably a lot of anger about their situation and how Mion was chosen and not her, and she's kind of formed all of this, you know, it's this whole thing for her, you know? And then when she went crazy, it, like, amplified those feelings 100-fold to make her act like a lunatic. That makes so much more sense to me than the idea that Mion, who's like this, who is this kind of person, who apologizes to people a lot, and is, you know, like Mion, there's no way that was her, right? I just can't imagine her ever acting like that. Even if she was affected by the same thing that affected Keiichi and Shion. You know, like...
でさ、何？ケイちゃん、なんか話があったんじゃないの？
What are we here to talk about?
ミオンにかなり本気な話がある。
Okay.
突然な話で、ミオンは面食らうかもしれないが、聞いてほしい。
I wonder what it is. Is it a... we'll just see.
何？
あ、先に逃げ道を渡
I'll
して
give you a way out
仮に
first.
本当だったとして、ミオンはそれを認めてくれなく
Okay.
てもいい。
Is it about something Takano told him when we didn't get to see
し
it?
らばっくれててもいい。
You're allowed to play dumb.
最後まで俺の話は聞いてほしい。
Okay.
鬼ヶ淵村御三家の今や筆頭家。その次期当主の
Sure.
園崎ミオンに話がある。
At first, Mion looked like she had no idea what I was saying, but at hearing the whole sentence and putting it together, she reacted.
どこで聞いたの？
それは
Okay.
関係ないことだ。
Yeah. I definitely couldn't tell her who told me. Takano-san, he told me not to, but please forgive me. This was why I asked you about it after all.
ケイちゃんが鬼ヶ淵村の名を知ってることだけでも驚きだけど、私についていろいろとあることないことを知ってそうだね。
ああ、あること、ないことだ。俺が勘違いしてるだけなのかもしれない。でも、それでもいいから聞いてくれ。そして、もしも本当なんだったら。
ケイちゃんが何の話をしようとしてるかわからないけど、話す前
I
に
mean, like
釘を
what?
刺すよ。
I don't know. I don't... Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna speculate. We just gotta go.
大きな勘
We
違
just
いを
gotta see.
してる。
I'm just thinking, like, if this is all stuff about, like, the killings and stuff, and this is, like, Takano told him, oh, I think it's the Sonozaki's doing it. What does this even have to do with Satoko's situation? I don't know. Whatever. We'll
だ
see.
から
We'll
で
see.
きるなら、私はケイちゃんの話も聞きたくない。
Oh, wow, okay.
聞いても何も叶えてあげられないからね。でも話すことでケイちゃんの肩が少しでも軽くなるな
Right.
ら、
Of course.
本当に聞くだけ。何も起こらないよ。それでもいいね。
あ、
Mion seemed to know what kind of thing I'd be talking about. She warned me that doing so would be fruitless. That much was obvious. If what I was going to say was true, then the Sonozaki family would be the masterminds behind the string of freak deaths that had been occurring every year in Inamizawa. No way. Mion nodded a little. Because of Tepe. Right, that's why we're talking about this, right? If it is Mion, like let's say it was the Sonozakis doing it, well, who does Keiichi really want to be the next target of the curse, right? So, who do I really want to be the next target of the curse, right? I just think Keiichi's barking up the wrong tree here. I don't think, I think because Mion knows about the syringe, I think Mion does have some kind of information about stuff here. But it's not what Keiichi thinks it is, I don't know what it is either, right? But, I mean... And with that, it is interesting how it seems... If Mion and Rika both know about this whole syringe thing, and maybe Rena does too, kinda, it's interesting that they don't tell Keiichi about it, I don't know. I mean, Keiichi is new here, but still. Enemies of the village? Yeah. Yep. Mion spoke as if it didn't relate to her. That was fine. She didn't have to admit it. For now, I just wanted her to stay quiet and listen to me. Man, 2 days away. Sadako's not gonna be there, is she? Oh, God. Mion didn't answer. Her expression remained the same, too. Like she said, she was just quietly listening. And it, makes me think, does Mion somehow know? Oh, it just depends, what's up with the syringe, right? If it is... Well, no, it depends, on so many things that we just don't know about. I just don't know. I just have no idea. I don't know. Mion could know anything, and I just have no idea, because I guess we just don't know the details of what is causing any of it, So, I don't know. Mion gave me a look she'd never given me before. A faraway look. A sympathetic one. She didn't nod. She just smiled faintly and listened to me, not listen. Of course. What is she gonna say about that? Is she gonna say anything? Wish it was that simple. I dropped my pen. It's interesting how Keiichi is so locked in on this whole Satoko thing and cares so much about her. She is his single-minded purpose right now. That he just accepts it. He just accepts the idea that Mion and the Sonozakis are the evil murderers doing everything. And he's not even freaking out about it. He's just like, oh yeah, can you kill Tepe, please? Which, makes sense, right? I get it, It's such a difference compared to his attitude before, ever, I just don't think Mion can't control it. Mion, I never in a million years do I think the Sonozakis are, orchestrating it themselves. So. Okay, my recording stopped for apparently no reason. I said some stuff, but I don't even remember what I said. So whatever, let's just continue. No matter how I looked at it, I wasn't sure whether I should continue. No matter how I tried, the words wouldn't come out. I'm trying to remember what I said, but I don't remember. Whatever. Who cares? It stopped for 30 seconds. Whatever. Is that true? You just don't care? You just don't care? I don't know about that.
もしもそういうたたりを決めている連中に渡りがつくなら、里子のおじをたたりに選ぶように言ってほしい
God, I
だけなん
wish.
だ。
I wish. God.
頼む。
ケイちゃんの言ってる内容は
Yeah, it really has been. It really has
ひ
been.
なみ沢連続開始事件が園崎家主導の事件なんだとしたら、それじゃあ主犯私が
Sorry,
たた
I
り
cut
を
off
決
your
め
line.
指示をし、何人も殺めて消したこと
Hey,
に
you would have killed Rika's parents, right? Like, I think Keiichi's mind, he's just thinking like, you know, he's just thinking about last year. He's just thinking about when Sadako's aunt died, right? He's not thinking about how she would have killed Rika's parents too, you know? So, man, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
ケイちゃんは私を人殺し呼ばわりするんだ。
And it's like, in Keiichi's mind, I guess that would literally be an easier thing for him to process, right? He thinks it would be a better situation right now for Mion to be a murderer who've done all of this than for Sadako to, like, be in this situation. You know? Like, that's the like, man, that's just awful. But it makes sense, though. Like,
だから言ってるじゃないか。ミオンが連続殺人の主犯だろうと無関係だろうと、たとえミオンが殺人犯だって俺の親友であることには何もそれでも全然構わないんだぜ。
God, I keep cutting off lines. I'm sorry.
警察に追われたら助けてやる。お前のアリバイを作ってやるし、逃走だって助けてやる。
Only if they could save Sadako, though, right? Of course.
仲間で親友だからだ。
Well, I mean, like, he's saying it's because we're friends, but, like, I think Keiichi's mind is completely clouded with the Sadako thing, right? Like, if he just learned about this, like, I mean, we have seen what happens when he thinks this of Mion before, right? And he doesn't have this reaction to the idea, you know? It's because of the Sadako stuff.
そうだろう。
Mion looked surprised for a while. She was dumbfounded.
いきなり共犯宣言。ケイちゃん、かなり大胆だよそれ。
いいから話の腰を折るな。佐藤のおじを。
He's just back to the same thing. He's just back to the same thing. He just wants there to be an answer. He wants there to be something that can be done so badly. There just isn't. There just isn't.
ケイちゃんストップ。そろそろご飯の準備をしたいから、今日はこれくらいにしたいんだけど。
It's not gonna be Tepe. It's not. I mean, it's not gonna be Tepe. It's gonna be much worse. I mean, like, whoever dies from the curse, it's going to be someone. It's gonna be the opposite of it being Tepe. It's gonna be, I don't know. Yeah, I then realized that my cheeks were wet with tears. They slid down my chin and fell, drip drop, onto the tatami mat.
最初から言ってる通り、ケイちゃんは大きな勘違いをしてる。
Yeah.
お社様の
I
たたりは
wish you could tell us
お
about
社
it,
様の
Mion.
たたり。たとえ人間の起こした事件であったにせよ、それは園崎家とは、ましてや私とは何の関係もないよ。
ああ、それは分かっているさ。
だからケイちゃんの必死の訴えには胸を打たれるけど、それだけ私が叶えてあげたくても叶えてあげられない。
Yeah.
それもわかるね。
I mean, like, with the whole syringe thing, it seems like more so the goal would be to stop the murder from happening at all, right?
でもケイちゃんの気持ちは痛いくらいに分かったよ。
I hope so.
もしも本当に私がケイちゃんの言うように御三家を操って毎年の犠牲者を選べる立場になったなら、きっと私はケイちゃんの願いを叶えているよ。
ミオン。
でも現実は違う。私はただの園崎ミオン。
Just Mion
確か
Sonozaki.
に園崎家はいろいろな意味で悪い噂を持ってひなみ沢を影から支配している一族だけれども。
What this is making me think is like, who is it going to be this time, right? If we're gonna have someone go crazy every time, who is it going to be? You know? I don't know. I feel like we don't really have a setup for it at all yet. I have no idea. I mean, to me it feels like we're back to Keiichi. I could imagine Keiichi would end up being the one who ends up going crazy again and killing people. But I feel like we are going to do that again, right?
連続開始事件とは何の関係もない。ダム闘争では 確かに少々過激な抵抗もしたけれど、それだけ人殺しなんて大それたこと。
Okay, well,
絶対にやらないよ。
if you say so. You know, that is an interesting thing for her to say. Depends on what she means by us, right? Or we, right? If she means we as in, like, her immediate family, well, even then, right? We know they have Yakuza connections. But, well, I don't know, right? I wonder, is the implication behind this line supposed to be that the first murder of Teppei's girlfriend at the start of Chapter 3 here? Are we supposed to think that maybe that actually wasn't linked to the Sonozakis, you know? Because it's hard for me to say that I think Mion's just lying here, but that seems like such a crazy thing to say that the Sonozakis would never do something as insane as to kill people, when they have Yakuza connections, right? Unless Oishi made all of that up, but that's just, that would be crazy, right?
そんな悲しいこと言うなよ。せめて今だけでも嘘でもいいから。うなずいてくれればいいじゃないか。
Oh, yeah, literally.
ケイちゃん
That's not gonna help anything, though.
夢を見るのは勝手。
Yeah.
私がここでうなずいてみせれば、ケイちゃんはサトコが
and then it would just come back. And then it would just come back, right? It wouldn't
肩の
help.
荷を下ろすことができるんだろうけどね。
You would get short-term relief, but it wouldn't help anything.
でも無情にもサトコのおじは
Ooh.
あさっての夜も超える。
It's like, if anything, it's like she's sure that it won't be her uncle.
来週になっても再来週になっても居続ける。それを覚悟してね。
Yeah. That's not going anywhere.
綿流しの次の日になぜ殺さなかったなんてケイちゃんに詰め寄られたくない。
ミオ。
God, it's just dealing with the powerlessness. Because, like, what I was just thinking for a moment there, just popped into my head, is that Keiichi always wants other people to have the responsibility for this type of thing, you know? But that's not really a fair thing to say, because it's not like this is Keiichi's responsibility. There's nothing Keiichi can do about it either, right? So it's not fair for me to say that it's like he's pushing responsibility onto other people, and that he wants Mion to do something about it when he won't do anything about it himself. Because he's already tried to do stuff about it himself. He just can't. There's nothing he can do. So...
ミオさんかな。ケイちゃんにそんな話を吹き込んだのはあの人、ひなみざわをいい感じ
to
に誤解してる
misunderstand
からな。
things about Hinamizawa. That is interesting. I wonder what Mion thinks about Takano. Because I think... Yeah, Takano does have a interesting view of Hinamizawa, doesn't she?
まあ、本人が一人で楽しんでる分にはいいんだけど。
Takano doesn't, like, view Hinamizawa as, like, a place that people live in. You know what I mean? She really views it as, like, this, like, I don't know, this, research specimen that she's so interested in, you know? Like... Oh, God, like, I feel like I said it before, but it's like, if anyone had a motivation to try and continue the tradition of Hinamizawa and try and live out the folklore, it would be Takano, right? Like, man, I don't know.
ケイちゃんを感化するのはいただけないな。
Mm-hmm.
やれやれ。これだからよそ者は。
This is why outsiders are no good.
高野さんは関係ないからな。
All she said was Mia, why do you know her name, huh?
はいはい。でも安心して。仮にミオさんがケイちゃんに喋ったと分かったって別にどうにもならないんだから。
I guess. That's kind of scary, though. Takano told him not to tell anyone.
別にミオさんが今年のタタリに選ばれるわけじゃない。
Okay, that's... If you say so, Mion.
そもそも今年もタタリがあるかどうかなんてわからないよ。あんなの不幸な偶然がただ積み重なっただけなんだから。
Okay, and that is an interesting thing for her to say, that we don't know if the curse will happen this year. Because of the syringes, right? Like, what if the idea is we do have the syringe now that could potentially fix it, right? I don't know.
聞いてくれてありがとう。もしもミオンが連続事件と何の関係もなかったなら、謝っておくな。
そうだね。
Still doesn't believe her,
謝
huh?
っておいてくれるかな。
If it's true. Yeah. Not like that makes it hurt any less that he thought that in the first place, but I hope she kind of understands that it's just Keiichi being insane and desperate, not like, I don't know, like, She said she had a meeting or something today. Sorry, I didn't read that. Mion said she didn't have much time, but she still brought me to the gate. She said she didn't have... She said she had a meeting or something today about Sunday's Watanagashi festival, so there would be a lot of people from the town council and the festival committee coming. Despite her day being so busy, she still listened to what I had to say. Yeah, if only. If there really is an Oishiro-sama, right?
今日は変な話をして本当にごめんな。今日の話はなかったことにしてくれていい。
It's not that easy, sadly.
忘れておくよ。
じゃあ明日な。
バイバイ。
Man, it being nighttime already is kind of scary, or evening. Like, what's gonna happen for the rest of the chapter, right? I had really only spent a short time with Mion. Talking to her made me think. It was clear that what Takano-san had told me, at least, wasn't a complete fabrication. If Mion was really, really unconnected to the incidents, then she probably wouldn't have listened to me so quietly. She heard me out until I was done without making any quips, and I wanted to think that was proof. That's dumb. I think she's used to this, like, suspicion. I did kind of feel like I was grasping at straws. Like, she's used to this kind of thing. Like, it's not like a crazy thing for you to be saying to her that she feels the need to jump to defense about, because she's heard other people say this, like Oishi, right? And Takano, right? Of course, thinking back on it, it was a terrible thing to discuss. I mean, I went to my friend's house, called her a serial murderer, and then told her to kill Sadako's uncle. I was the only one talking that whole time. Mion quietly listened to everything I had to say like a pastor listening to a confession. She could have gotten angry partway through, told me off, and to go wash my face in miso soup and come back later. But she didn't. Was that proof that Mion's family, the Sonozaki, were the masterminds? Or was she just listening because she felt sorry for me going kind of crazy? I didn't know which it was. I don't know if it's the latter either, right? She doesn't have to feel sorry for you. But it was the one effort I could make at the moment. It was another form of insurance, should worse come to worse and the public agency decide to wait and see, which I think is likely. Or if not, they're just going to do something that makes it even worse. It was a completely useless resistance, literally grasping at straws. Sensei said that if she reported it to the Child Consultation Center, they'd have to respond on the same day. Could they already be in the middle of responding to it now? If Sadako came to school tomorrow morning all energetic, then everything would just be a needless fear. Why couldn't tomorrow come faster? Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, are we going to get tomorrow in this chapter too? They've really been breaking the whole one subchapter equals one day thing. That night was unusually hot and humid, and I couldn't get to sleep. I said all that to Sensei. They couldn't possibly decide to wait and see again this year. Satoko, what was it like for her tonight? Had she tasted the end of her nightmare, enjoying a night of liberation? I actually put my hands together and prayed into my futon. Gonna pray to Oyashiro-sama? Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, God. I'm, like, oh, God. Oh, God. I'm scared. I'm scared. Can I stop? I'm scared. I'm terrified. I didn't know we were getting it this fast. Oh, God. What's gonna happen? Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm scared. What is she? Is Sadako gonna show up? At this point, I don't want Sadako to show up. I'm scared now. It's like, hey, fuck. Oh, God.
おはよ
う。よかった。今日もお寝坊かと思ったよ。昨日はおばさまには先に行ったって言われるし、学校には来ていないし。
So he was right about what happened yesterday. Wow.
途中で日射病で倒れちゃったのかなって心配してたんだから。
へいへい。昨日は心配かけて申し訳ございませんでした。
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Mion.
みーちゃん、おはよう。大丈夫？なんかすごく眠そうだよ。
そういえば昨日は遅くまで町会の人が集まっての打ち合わせ会だったんだよ。
Right. I suppose.
打ち合わせ会なんて名ばかりの宴会だよ。
Oh, of course.
毎年やってるお祭りだもん。今さら小難しい打ち合わせなんかないし。今日
の午後はやっぱりお祭りのお手伝いに行くのかな。
I wonder if Keiichi will again as well.
うん。バッチャの代わりにいろいろ挨拶しなきゃなんないし。
We still didn't see her grandma.
それにね、祭りってのは準備からもう始まってるからね。
Our morning conversation was lighthearted as usual. It looked like Mion had thankfully forgotten about how I'd barged into her house yesterday with that crazy talk. No, she didn't forget about it, Keiichi. The more I think back on it, I felt like I'd really said something terrible to her. This better not be the fucking beginning, is this already the beginning of the end for Keiichi? He always does this, where he thinks one little tiny thing has irreparably changed everything forever. I was really thoughtless, and it wouldn't have been weird if she'd yelled at me. It was highly possible Takane-san had exaggerated her story. To think that her comrade and friend, Mion, the young leader of the Sonozakis, one of the 3 families effectively controlling Hinamizawa, was pulling the strings behind the serial death incidents was a little unbelievable. But if there was even a 1% chance that it was true, then what I said yesterday to Mion might have been a success. Yes, it was no more than 1 in 100. But that little bit of effort might have brought the chances of saving Satoko up by even a tiny bit. At least I'd made that effort. After yesterday ended, I was sure I'd done everything I possibly could. And that's kind of the trap you worry about him falling into, right? Is the idea that any cost is worth it, right? That any price is worth any chance of saving Satoko, you know? Which, no matter how terrible a situation is, that's just not true, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you could save Satoko for sure if you had to, I don't know, kill Rika or something, right? Like, that doesn't mean you should go shoot Rika in the head and then think the same thing, that, like, you know, even if it was terrible, that means it was worth it, because it brought up the chance of saving Satoko, right? Like, so no, I don't think you should write off any potential consequences of that conversation yesterday just by saying that, right? Like, if there was something else I could do, it was probably just to clap my hands and pray that Satoko's uncle would be killed by the curse.
Satoko, 今日は来ているといいな。
God, I guess.
そうだね。先生がいろいろと手配して。
The reason I'm scared is because I know it's not gonna be good, right? It's not gonna be good, no matter what.
きっと大丈夫。
Like, there's no way. I guess maybe for maximum torture they can make it seem good at first and then rip it all away and make her situation even worse, I suppose.
ひなみざわ地区の民生委員が私のおばさんなんだけどさ、ゆうべ電話
Oh,
して聞いて
wow.
みたよ。
Okay.
へえ、みーちゃんのおばさんって民生委員さんなんだね。
She's got aunts and uncles everywhere.
それで、さとこちゃんのことなんて言ってたの？
うん。先生が
Okay,
ね、
sure.
直接県の児童相談所に電話してね。児童福祉士が夕べのうちに訪問してほしい。
Oh, okay.
私のおばさんにも今後定期的にアプローチするようにと。
I guess.
小難しい話はいいよ。それより、サトコはどうだったの？
Yeah, enough with the dumb little stuff. That's not dumb little stuff, honestly, but sure. No. They can't do that fast. That's why they're going back. That's why they're paying visits.
おばさんはそこまでは知らされてなかったみたい。本来はこういうのって秘密だからね。おばさんが私に話してくれたのも十分に倫理違反なんです。
Yeah.
くそ、かえって不安になったぞ。
行こう、学校に。
Right. Discussing this more would just make us feel worse. It was far quicker to go to school and see if Satoko was safe or not. The 3 of us nodded and ran off. Was Satoko safe? What measures had the Child Consultation Center taken? I didn't care what, as long as we could go back to our peaceful life with Satoko today, it didn't matter to me. He just wants life back the same it was before. Ah, God, he really did not take Rena's advice to heart, right? But, I mean, who could, you know? Like, no one is gonna have a good attitude about this situation, you know? It would be so impossible. At the shoe racks at the entrance, Rena took a peek in Satoko's shoe cubby. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh God, my heart's beating. Oh fuck. Oh God. Oh shit. I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna die. It's over. We trotted towards the classroom. Okay. What do I want to see? No matter what I see from Satoko, if I see the horrible sprite that makes me want to close the game, it's gonna be horrible. And if I see her smiling happily, it's still gonna be horrible. And I think it's just gonna be bad. So, no matter what, this feeling of dread is not gonna go away. The classroom was lively, as it usually was in the morning.
みー、ここにちゃんといますですよ。
Okay.
朝っぱらから騒々しいですわね。
Okay. Hi, Satoko. Hi, girl. I'm really thinking back now to what was that? A couple chapters ago. Was that last chapter? Whenever it was. When Keiichi was, like, yelling and screaming at everybody about how someone had to take care of Satoko and blah, 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 blah. And of course he's right in that, right? Like, I understand his extreme rage at their situation. But I think I kind of get it now. The whole thing that they were saying to Keiichi about how it's almost like he's treating Satoko like, I don't know, like a pet, or like a, you know, like a problem that just needs to be solved, right? Like, I guess what I mean is, it kind of goes to, like, the self-satisfaction angle, right? Like, for me, in my mind, obviously, for me, Satoko is a fictional character, right? Obviously there's the, you know, suspension of disbelief that allows you to care about fictional characters, right? So, like, by that sense, I really want Satoko to not be suffering and have this horrible shit going on, right? But I feel like this, like, feeling of dread that I'm feeling in my body right now about Satoko's situation, it really feels like it kind of goes through the same, like, pathway, maybe, that, like, Keiichi's feelings kind of are. Or, like, the same argument, the same, like, justification, perhaps, that you could say Keiichi is having for wanting anything to do. For wanting anything to happen to fix Satoko's situation, just so he stops feeling so bad about it, right? Like, it's kind of the same with me, in a sense, right? Like, Satoko's a fictional character. I have a suspension of disbelief that really makes me care about her, right? So, of course, I have this horrible feeling right now, where if bad things are happening to her, it makes me feel awful. So in that case, of course, I would really like if her situation was better, right? And, like, for me, it's like, I can tell you, it's like, yes, it's because of the horrible feeling that like, makes me feel, right? It's easier to, like, recognize that as, like, the reason, because it's not real, right? For Keiichi, in universe, Satoko is a real person to him. So, he certainly has more of a human connection to Satoko, and, like, more of a reason to, like, want her to stop experiencing these things, you know? Because, like, obviously, because to him, you know, he doesn't have the suspension of disbelief he has to deal with. She's real to him, right? But I still wonder if he is kind of feeling the same thing as me right now. He has this feeling of dread, and he just wants anything to happen to make it go away, right? And I really think that just goes so perfectly with, I think it was Rena who said it, right? That it's like Keiichi was treating Satoko in this weird way where he just wants the problem to just be fixed, and not treating her like a person, right? And it's like, I feel like now I can just relate to that so much. Like, I feel like I get that, right? Because, like, think about what I was saying, like, 5 minutes ago, right? That all I want is, like, I'm not even thinking at that point about Satoko's situation, or, like, what actually happened. All I'm worried about is, what it's going to make me feel, right? And I'm not saying that's, like, a bad way to engage with media. I think that's just my, like, natural reaction to what the story is making me feel, right? But I just think, like, in universe, I think that's what Keiichi is, like, feeling too, right? You know what I mean? Because, like, I don't know, it is interesting, right? I don't know, it's something to think about. I hope you understand, like, what I'm saying there. I don't know.
少しはお静かになさいませ。さとこちゃん、大丈夫だった？
Hi, are you? All of our friends crowded around Satoko excitedly.
保護士来た
Oh,
んでしょ？
yeah.
どういう話になったわ
Oh,
け？
God.
呼んだのはどなたですの？まったくどんな騒ぎでした
Okay,
よ。
what do you mean by a mess?
あれだけ欠席すりゃ心配もする。
Satoko said, I told you I'm fine, under her breath. She was still trying to overcome all the suffering on her end.
私もおじさまもとんだ迷惑でしたのよ。
Okay.
あんなに人に押しかけられて、
Oh, big bother, huh?
みんなさとこちゃんのこと心配してたんだよ。迷惑だなんて言わ
I,
ないで。
yeah.
ああもうとにかくそれでどうなったんだよ。
どうもこうもしませんよ。
Nothing happened.
風が治った
Yeah,
ら
no,
こっち
she's
だけ
just,
のことですよ。
yeah, nothing's gonna happen,
これ
Yeah,
から
yeah.
はあんまりお休みして心配をかけないようにしない
Okay,
と
I mean, at least she'll be going to school. That doesn't mean her situation's better, though, right? I guess it kinda does. She'll be going to school, but her evil uncle could just be treating her even worse now, so... It's not like she's out of the situation. What was Sadako saying?
おじさんはその
Nothing. Nothing
どうなっ
happens.
たの？
Nothing happened.
多少誤解があったことは
Awesome.
認めて
Awesome.
二人でごめん
Awesome.
なさいをしました。
Great. Good. Tug. Rika-chan grabbed the back of my collar and pulled me away.
なんだよリカちゃん。
Rika-chan silently dragged me all the way into the hallway.
リカちゃん、あれは
Well,
どういうことだよ。
what it's exactly what Eri said was going to happen, right? Like it's
さとこは
yeah,
何でもないと
yeah,
言って
yeah,
追い
yeah,
返してしまいました。
yeah. I
バカ野郎
that idiot.
なんで
No, somewhere in my mind, I thought it might turn out like this. Satoko didn't ask for anyone's help. She didn't hide behind anyone. She was trying to ride out this pain. She wanted to show Satoshi proof that if he came back to them, she wouldn't need to hide behind him anymore. Yeah, it's like this is just it's like all you've done is introduce another thing that she feels like she has to get through, you know, like I like
だけど監督に聞いた話じゃ保護士ってのは
But
本人の意思に関係なく
it doesn't-
緊急保護をすることができる。
it doesn't look like an emergency situation to them. To them, there is no emergency situation because they both say nothing's
い
happening.
くらサトコが虐待を否定したって虐待は事実。
Chi Sensei finally came. Her expression was far from cheerful.
前原くんの言う通り
And I don't think they can just like examine Sadako for bruises against her will with like no just reasoning, right? Like
児童福祉士は緊急性があると判断すれば職権で緊急保護を
but
する
that's like a
ことが
last resort too, you know,
当事
like
者の意思に関係なく
じゃあどうしてサトコの意思が変に尊重されて保護されないことに。
それに沖宮の相談所もいろいろ検討した末にそういう判断を、
なんだよそれ先生、昨日あんた絶対に助けるから大丈夫って言わなかったか。
oh my
どういうことだ
god.
よおかしいじゃねえかよ。おい
I
ケイチ、実はさとこ
The
の
third
児童虐待の通報は過去にも
yeah.
2回あっ
It
た
happened
の。
another time before this.
フルデさん
Sensei tried to stop her, but Rika-chan went on speaking
過去
anyway.
に一昨年の冬に通報して様子見になったって話は聞いてるが、その前にもあったのか。
さとこの死んでしまったお父さんは
Oh,
さとこの
oh.
本当のお父さんではないのです。
リカちゃん、それが
I'm stunned at the sudden revelation. I had no idea what Rika-chan wanted to tell me, but it seemed really important, so I couldn't get a word in
さ
either.
とこのお母さんは最高なので
Oh,
す。
okay.
さとことさとしはお母さんの連れ子で、
I did
お
not
父
know
さん
that.
には血はつな
That
がっ
is
てい
very
なかったので
interesting,
す。
right? Huh. I don't really know what to make of that, but it is something. And she's being abused even back then. Good. Satoshi was a good kid, one who listened politely to what adults told him. He was immediately welcomed by their new father and was loved. But Sadako was different. She was rebellious, she told lies, she played pranks. Her stepfather didn't like her at all. Ugh, God.
つまりどういうことだよ。
さとこはおじ夫婦に預けられる以前の家族の時もあ
Huh.
まり良好な家族関係ではなかったのです。
Of course, her stepfather didn't have malicious intent at the start. At first, he must have worked hard to get his new daughter to accept him. But the young Sadako didn't make any effort at all towards that end. Well, yeah, she was like, I don't know, 8 years old or something. Like, I mean, she was distant towards her stepfather and never opened her heart to him, even a little. She just got on his nerves all the time, with seemingly forced lies and pranks. Her father's discipline and punishment must have been loving at first, of course, but that too faded quickly.
私はその時はひなみ沢にいなかったから昨日電話で初めて知りました。
先生が聞いたのはどんな話ですか？
さとこちゃんが
What?
両親特に義理のお父さんを陥れるのを目的に自分で生活する
Oh, 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 great. Awesome.
自称と作り話。
さとこは嫌いなお父さんを追い払う
Yeah, oh my
嘘の電
god.
話をしたのです。
Fuck. And it's not like you can blame her when she was like, I don't know, 7 or something. Right? I mean, this happened so long ago. Child welfare officers rushed there and heard the story. Her father genuinely apologized for a few times when he had gone too far, and agreed to let the child welfare center give him coaching. I mean, especially if it's true that, like, I don't know. I mean, they're calling it a fake phone call, but, I mean, if he actually had gone too far ever, then it's not really that but I don't know. And another problem with Satoko-chan.
サトコに問題って何です？
Satoko's mother. There were a few times where she had lived with de facto husbands, though those relationships didn't result in remarriage. From a young age, Satoko had been forced to call at least 2 or 3 people her father. At some point, Satoko's pranks escalated. Yeah, just not having, like, parental figures, essentially, right? Like, she would spill food on purpose, turn over her plate, and even throw it. She would break the windows in the neighborhood and shoplift candy. She would put thumbtacks everywhere and set other traps to seriously hurt people. Because that's something that, like, with kids, it, like, drives them crazy. Having someone who they aren't close to and they don't, like, have any reason to respect or think of as a parental figure, like, acting as a parental figure to them, right? Like, it's really hard to get over that hurdle, right? To, like, accept, discipline or anything from, like, someone who you, like, don't even know, like... Not in the way she did now, just to get laughs. She was also fond of telling lies that would get found out right away, and people got mad at her every time. But she never ever changed her behavior.
さとこちゃんのことを問題児なんて思わないでね。これは幼いさとこちゃんが母親を知らない男に取られまいとして取った自衛的な行為なの。
Yeah. In regards to Satoko's problematic behavior, child psychology experts from public institutions indicated her actions were to draw her mother's attention to herself. Makes sense. They acknowledged that she had a form of harmful emotional trauma, and declared that she needed counseling and therapy from professionals. They didn't know whether that therapy had healed the wounds in her heart.
さとこちゃんはわざと体に傷を作り、お父さんに虐待を受けているとね。自分で通報してお父さんを追い出そうとした。
でも結局サトコを連れてたのかな。
kinda, right?
いいえ。
No?
虐待の話
Oh, okay.
さとこちゃんの作り話だった。義理のお父さんはもちろん少し感情的な
Yeah,
作り方を
okay.
してしまったかもしれないけど。
Great. So, I mean, what? Oh, God. So, I mean, like, depending on how far this goes, is she, like... well, I don't know. I'm not gonna... I gotta listen to the rest of this. Satoko had lied to chase away her stepfather, and they saw through her right away and found out that Satoko had issues.
ひょっとしてそのせいで
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, is that it's like she's been, like, marked now, like, in their system or something as someone who's, like, faked this before, Oh my god.
児童相談所に
Oh my
ちゃん
fuck.
と昔
Oh
の
my
ことが
god.
起こってましたですから。
Awesome. Great. Right. So cool. So good. No. Right. Of course. That's so awesome.
さとこの嘘の可能性もあるから慎重に。
Oh my god. Oh my god.
なんだよそれ。つまりなんだよ。サトコは嘘をつくかもしれないから慎重に。
Oh my god. Oh god.
だから様子を見ろってことになってるのかよ。
狼と羊
Yeah. That fable about telling a lie once, making others unwilling to believe you later.
ふざけんなよ。昔のことなんか全然無関係だろう。今現在起こっている事実だけが。
But there's no way they're on the outside. They have no way to know that. They don't know.
サトコはおじに虐待されている。どうしてその事実が昔の出来事で歪められなきゃならねえんだよ。
Neither Sensei nor Rika-chan had anything to say to
と
that.
にかくそれを慎重に判断するために保護士さんが昨日訪れましたのです。
And Sadako dealt with them, put on the best, strongest smile she could manage, and denied the abuse. Of course, she was probably being threatened to keep quiet about it by her uncle. Sadako wasn't trying to outlast everything without asking for help. Sadako wanted to wait for Sachi to come back home. And she outright denied the truth of the abuse. What an idiot. Okay. What? What do we do? What do we do? Oh my god. Fuck. God damn it. God. No. Oh, God. Oh my god. She's waiting for Satoshi to come back. I feel so bad for her, because he's not gonna come back. And I get it, and I understand, like, what, but he's not coming back. He's not gonna come back, right? He's not going to. But I understand, like, I understand, like, what her thought process here is. Like, I get it, you know? I don't know. Keiichi, what do we do, man? Like, you have to be Satoshi. Like, I don't know, that's the only thing I can think of. I don't know. But, like, how can you be Satoshi, right? Like, that's what we set up from, like, the first 2 chapters of this, was he has to be Satoshi, right? So, we gotta do that. What? You're not really enduring it. Do you really think pretending like this will actually bring Satoshi back? Just stop it already. Satoshi, he abandoned you. It, like... Oh my god. Oh god. You know what it reminds me of? It makes me think of Keiichi's whole thing about, like, the true version of people, and, like, people pretending to be someone who they aren't, or people, like, really being someone else. That obviously is at play here, too. I mean, it always is. It seems like that's just somehow the central theme of, like, Keiichi and, like, the way he views the world, or whatever. That's, like, what's being explored, right? So, like, him saying that Satoko is, like, putting on this facade and just pretending to be like this. Like, yeah, I guess that's, like, true, right? Because it's true that she's not okay with it, right? It's true that she isn't actually able to, like, handle the abuse now. No one would be, right? Like, but she thinks that that's what she has to do to bring Satoshi back, right? I don't know. I just wanted to say it obviously is in the same vein as all that. Like, the same thing that was in Enikachi, same thing that was in Watanagashi, right? He abandoned you. And the fact that he hasn't shown up to save you now is proof, isn't it? So, just stop it. Please stop being weird and pretending to endure it. Impossible. Chi-sensei gave me a warning, then left to go back to the teacher's lounge.
Keiichi, Satoko no koto
no, she isn't. She's obviously very strong if she's able to do this, right? Like... I guess. Yeah, like, from her point of view, and if you put yourself in her shoes, it's like she's doing a very admirable thing, right? Like, she's trying to be as strong as possible. She's just wrong, right? It's just not gonna come true, though, what she wants. Oh, God. Oh, God. Not if she denies it, not if they cover it up. Yeah, and that's not gonna prevent it in the first place, right? Any more than that would have sounded like I was picking a fight, so I firmly swallowed my next words and went back to the classroom. Mion and Rena were talking to Satoko like they always did. It was a silly conversation. A humorous, even fun one, like it was any old day. Oh my god. If Satoko really said she could still endure it, then maybe I should do as Rika-chan said and watch over her. Maybe whatever help I offer will just go unwanted. God. Fuck. God damn it. Fucking hell. God. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Okay. Okay, let's have lunch. Can we play club games too? Right? Or does she have to go home immediately? Meep. Oh god. Satoko brought her own desk over as well, grinning broadly. Even knowing nothing had been resolved, this exchange was pleasant and made me remember how fun it used to be.
いつまで
Fun
も
it used to
理科
be,
にお弁
man.
当作ってもらっては悪いですわね。
Oh.
いいのですよ。さとこのお弁当を作るのは僕の楽しみなのです。
Rika-chan's such a good girl. Having such a good friend must be so reassuring. Like, the thing is, if oh my god, if they could just convince Satoko to not accept the abuse like this, she could just run back to Rika's house and hide there, right? Like, I don't know, I guess depending how far her fucking evil uncle wants to go, I guess he could show up to school and try and bring her back, but I don't know, like...
僕に大きなハンバーグを入れて、さとこには焦げたのを入れて。さとこだけかわいそうでニパーン。
I take it back. Well, she's Rika-chan after all.
ほらほら、見て見て。今日はほら、オムライスなんだよ。マッシュルームとか美味しそうだよね。はう。いつもながらお見事な腕前でございます。
It really is.
いつお嫁に行ってもおかしくない腕前ですわね。
Yeah, you can marry Keiichi.
お嫁。
Okay, what do you mean eating a wife? What is that supposed to mean?
レナにお嫁は NG ワードだね。
An energy word?
以後控えるように。
ほんのちょっぴり完成しましたよ。
ところでミオンの弁当はなんだよ。今日のはまた趣が違って期待大だな。
おじさんはまったりと夕べのおかず詰め合わせね。煮物がいい感じなんだよ。
I guess. Oh yeah, from your party last night.
大根の色はかなりいいでしょ。
わあ、美味しそうなのです。
煮物は一晩寝かせてからが。
Is that true?
これはかなりいけそうだ。よってさとこの分はなし。
Perfect.
俺が全部食って感想を聞かせるから黙って見てろ。
なんですって？
There we go.
私の分もおよこしなさいな。
Elbow, punch, headbutt. I'll use my knees too. Warrior.
密着距離まで入れば私の言う
I
ことで
guess.
きませんわね。ケイチさんの分のお大根が実に美味しいですわ。
Maybe Satoko can just kill Tepe, right? Maybe that would work. She brings the baseball bat home, just kills him. Sounds good.
バトル開始時から密着でいきなりコンボとは。
Like that would be kind of like, you know, proving herself to Satoshi if she just killed him, right? Like what I mean, like come on. I mean, then you're really proving that you can deal with it if you murder him, right?
うんね。
This little exchange, how long had it been? It looked like they'd ended up going with the wait-and-see approach, but maybe her uncle had realized he'd gone a little too far and would dial it back now. No, that is not happening. If her treatment improved a little, would that be a good thing? Satoko was grinning wider than I'd ever seen as she chomped down on her mouthful of daikon she'd plundered from me. Did it really taste that good? I mean, it's possible that she thinks this is like the next step in like her, you know, Satoshi coming back process, you know? Like... Oh. Right. Good. Yeah, she looks real good. Awesome. Satoko was somewhat cute like that. And just as I'd done many times, I grabbed her head and started petting it. Catch. Smack. Flip-flop. Clatter-clatter. Oh, she doesn't want you to pet her head. It was so sudden that for a moment, I didn't know what had happened. The back of my hand was stinging. I went to pet Satoko's head, and then she hit my hand. Oh god, what's going on? Oh god, oh Jesus Christ. Is she really mad at all of them? Or... Satoko was scratching at her head, as though a pimple or something had appeared on it and became itchy. It was so sudden and so unprovoked that I didn't understand what happened.
どうしたサトコ？
At some points, her body had been covered in a thin layer of sweat, and her breathing had turned ragged. Oh, okay. Good. When I pet her head, did she not like it? Was that what it meant?
お前、頭撫でられるの嫌いだったっけ？
Once again, slowly, I held out the palm of my hand and brought it close to Satoko's head. The instant the palm of my hand touched her head, there was a shock like static electricity, and Satoko began to howl. Oh. Okay. Right! Thud, slam. She grabbed my arm in both hands, and as if flinging off a snake trying to cling to her, as if trying to throw away something dirty, she threw it violently. It happened too suddenly for me to react. I hit the desk behind me, and both it and I fell to the floor. The classroom fell deathly silent. As Satoko bellowed, it sounded like she was in the throes of death, and she unsteadily backed away. Then, she threw up the food she'd just eaten. She vomited it all back up. The sound of Satoko's vomit hitting the floor rang through the classroom. What is happening? What is going on? I mean, like, what? Was it all an act? Was she just pretending to be fine, and really everything is a million times worse than ever, and she can't stand being back here with them because it reminds her of how horrible her life is? I just don't know. I have no idea. I reached out a hand, and she swatted it away with all her might. With such extreme strength that I fell onto the floor again. I mean, it could also just be Keiichi specifically, right? Like, Keiichi and the whole Satoshi thing, right? Like, what if she feels like now Keiichi is, like, an obstacle to Satoshi coming back because she, like, accepted him as her new, Nini, right? Satoko put both hands on her head as though protecting it, groaned some more, and took a few steps back. And then she began swinging both hands around. Students in nearby seats were forced to evacuate. She grabbed everything within reach, bento boxes, chairs, threw them, tossed them, and flung them about. But she's just lost her mind. She screamed out as if Mion's words had caused her physical pain. No one spoke a word to her. All the students were withdrawing behind us, leaving Satoko alone in the corner of the classroom. Around her, there were desks and chairs all over the floor. Bento lay scattered. It was terrible. All I could hear was Satoko's ragged breaths and the voices of the cicadas. Oh, what? 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 The strings of tension loosened around Satoko, and maybe she suddenly grew scared of her own actions because she started trembling and gave a word of apology. You don't need to apologize, but nobody knew just who that apology was directed towards. So, for now, I decided to answer as everyone's representative. Oh god. Awesome. Good. Right. Yeah. Our words didn't match each other at all. Satoko hugged her shoulders, and back she went. Bang. She ran into the locker with the cleaning supplies in it. Even that made her give a little yelp. The impact caused the bucket atop the locker to fall, making a loud sound, and that scared Satoko most of all. She almost jumped out of her skin, grabbing a bunch of the curtain in her hands. Nobody spoke to her. I mean, like, has the horrible abuse affected her to, like, a crazy degree already, and this is just, like, her reaction to living in the environment she's been in this whole time, and it's like she can't, like just Keiichi touching her, like, it has been that bad that she can't have Keiichi touch her? Like, They could only look, not even remembering to blink. Satoko, what on earth? I stood up, took a step away from everyone, and approached Satoko. Like what? I mean... I can't just know, like... Like, obviously, this makes you think that that she's, like, losing her mind, right? Like, in Onikashi and Tanagashi, but I literally just don't even know if that's it, or if this is literally just her reaction to living in an abusive household for all this time, right? Like, she could have swatted Keiichi's hand away because she has been dealing with being physically abused for the past however long, and because she swatted Keiichi's hand away, and she thinks that was, like, a bad thing to do, she already reacts like this to being a situation like that because of what her situation has been like at home, right? But even beyond that, it's like her uncle coming back and her returning to this life, it's almost like she could almost like revert back to like it's not like it's just like the last few days of abuse have been all that matters, right? Like she was abused for years before this, you know, so she has a history of forming some kind of coping mechanism to deal with abuse, right? Or like reacting to it in some extreme way like this, you assume, right? Because she's dealt with physical abuse before. So it's like she could just regress back to this point so quickly, and when she's back in the same environment that she was in before, you know? Every time I took a step forward, she grasped the curtains more tightly and cried out.
Satoko, 俺だよ。Keiichiだ。わかんないのか？お前に危害なんか加えない。
Oh my god, oh my god.
だから落ち着けって。大丈夫だ。俺はお前の味方だって。
Fuck.
助けて。
That's what we want to do. Yeah.
怖いのやだ。気持ち悪いのやだ。
Fucking hell, like... Suddenly, my shoulders were grabbed and I was dragged backwards. It was Rena.
ごめん、ケイチ君。ケイチ君はちょっ
Oh,
と後ろに行っ
fuck.
てて。
Oh, fucking hell. Oh my god. After pulling me back, she ran towards Satoko in my place.
大丈夫だよ、さとこちゃん。もう怖いことなんかないよ。ほら、安心して。やだやだやだ。もうやだやだ。
Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ.
助けて。助けて。
I like... You guys. Oh my god. As she gripped the curtains and kept calling for Nini, she continued to wail about being forgiven for something, and to be saved from something. What is this? Mion gnashed her teeth and groaned, and there were tears falling from her firmly closed eyes.
どうなってんだよ、これ。昨日で全部終わったんじゃない
I
の？
know.
今日からまた元の生活に戻っていくんじゃないのか？ミオ。
Crash. There's a crazy sound. Rena had taken the cleaning supply locker and kicked it down to the ground. Everyone looked surprised at Rena's unexpected act of brutality. After that, Rena embraced the bawling Satoko from behind and started crying with her, stifled.
レナ、どうした？
ごめん、ケイチ君。ちょっと黙ってて。
今のはなんだよ。どうしたんだよ。サトコから何か聞いたのか？何を聞いたんだよ。
サイナー。
Okay.
黙ってろって言ってんでしょ。
Sure. Rena's raw, hostile emotion hit me like a brick. What is it? It's not Keiichi's fault, right? Is it the whole Nini thing with Keiichi? Like that would be, I mean, but like, why would Rena be so fucking mad at Keiichi? It's not Keiichi's fault if that's what it is, right? Like, it's not his fault. There's no more than a momentary howl of emotion for Rena, but it was more than that for me. She had shown me what was behind all that emotion, what was in her heart.
さとこちゃん。やだやだやだやだ。もうやだやだやだ。許して。何もできなかった私たちを許して。
I don't know. I just... Fuck. Like, holy shit.
ごめんね。ごめんね。
Forgive us for being unable to do anything. Rena's words made me feel as though the blood vessels in the back of my head were suddenly all turning to ash. Like, or is Rena mad at Keiichi for what he did yesterday, for telling them, right? For rushing into the... to calling someone about this, right? My vision grew distant blurred with gray, and the world lost its color. I thought we could save Satoko. But, though I knew it'd be the sooner the better, I thought there was no time limit for doing that. I never even dreamed that we could be too late. I'd been making a huge mistake. I thought Satoko could be hurt, but never that she'd break. It was such a huge mistake. People, they break. Thinking that they don't is absolutely absurd. We needed to save Satoko. We needed to save her before she broke. That fatal lapse in awareness had brought us on. So you tell me Satoko's just broken now? It's just impossible? But what do you mean, Keiichi? Like, what do you think you should have done then? Right? Like, there's nothing, I just don't know. Other than fucking killing Teppei, like, I just have no idea, other than kidnapping Satoko against her will and bringing her somewhere. But even that doesn't solve the problem, right? What are we supposed to do? Tell Oishi? Oishi's evil, he's not gonna do anything. I literally don't understand what we possibly could actually do to fix this, right? We bring Satoko somewhere against her will, and separate her from her uncle. That just delays the problem. That doesn't fix anything. Assuming Teppei would still want Satoko, and would go back and try and get her back in anyway, right? And you assume he would, right? Like, we can't hide Satoko somewhere forever, and Teppei has a legal right to her, right? Like, it doesn't matter. And of course, Satoko herself, if she was still in the attitude of it's a trial she has to deal with, it doesn't, there's no, that's not gonna work. What else could we possibly do, other than bring her somewhere against her will? Try and show the, what? We don't have cell phones to record the abuse. It's the 80s. We can't, like, get evidence of the abuse to present to someone, right? I mean, somehow secretly take pictures of Satoko's bruises and shit and hope that serves as some kind of evidence that we can use? To, like, prove it, to separate her quickly? But even then, it's not like, I don't know. I have no fucking idea. I literally don't know, right? Like, the people in power who have the ability to separate Satoko from her uncle immediately need some kind of evidence right now for that to happen, right? It's been like a week, right? The only way it would have happened within that week time span is if there was immediate evidence that proved Satoko was being physically abused right then. Who could we have given, what kind of evidence could we have possibly gotten? And who could we have possibly given it to, right? Like, I don't know how we could have taken secret pictures against Satoko's will of her bruises to prove that she was being physically abused, right? That's not gonna happen. And who would we, I don't know who we would, I mean, I guess just say we have pictures of her bruises or something, but they're still gonna show up and Satoko's gonna deny it. Like, I guess at that point, maybe that's some kind of probable cause for them to still, I don't know, do something. But I fucking hate Satoshi. Like, god damn it. I don't think it's Satoshi's fault, right? If he was affected by the same thing Keiichi was, it's not like it's his fault he didn't choose to be affected by it. And he tried to do something about it if he didn't kill her fucking aunt, right? If she was even worse, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, whose fault was it? That went without saying. Mine. No. Ours. We all took on the duty of saving Satoko, but we were negligent to the point of laziness. In that sense, this was the inevitable result. No, I don't understand. I don't understand what we should have done. What should we have done? I mean, like, literally, what should we have done? I don't know. I have no idea, right? Two options in my mind. What we did, right, which was call and try and tell someone about it, obviously didn't work. The only other way you could make that better is by gathering some kind of additional evidence to show them. That's not gonna, I mean, like, what? Call and say, like, oh yeah, by the way, Satoko, I guess, like, included in the phone call that Satoko was gonna deny it and say that it wasn't real? Would that do anything? Would that change the outcome? Maybe, I don't know. Or what? Or what? What? Take Satoko somewhere against her will, kill Teppei. What are the other options? I have literally no idea, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know. Even if this didn't happen today. I mean, or try and convince Satoko that she's wrong, right? I try and crush her hopes about Satoshi, but is that possible? I don't know. That's just a giant if. Like, what? I mean, what could we have done? I don't know. Even if this didn't happen today, and it happened tomorrow, or the day after, or next week, we'd have just sat around doing nothing until that day. So this was the obvious result. I slumped down to my knees, just as Mion and Rika-chan had done, and I too closed my eyes tight and couldn't stop myself from sobbing. The teacher came, and her face screwed up at the terrible spectacle before her. The instant she realized the teacher was here, Satoko went through another complete change. She wiped her face with the curtains, and like nothing happened, smiled. Fuck. God damn it. Oh my god. Rena didn't nod in reply. But then, since Satoko wished it, she nodded without strength. Holy fucking shit. The rest of the class couldn't keep up with her extreme changes. They just stared in a daze. God. Fuck. Satoko would probably sweep the whole thing under the rug. For what? Her heart was torn to pieces. So what? What else? You wanted your Nini to help, didn't you? But unfortunately for you, Satoshi didn't ever intend on coming back. It's never that easy. He won't just conveniently show up and save you. So you don't have to wait for him anymore. You can cry, beg for help, but you can run away. Oh my god, I don't know. I don't know. Oops. Mion suddenly said. She spoke then, these few words that had tormented me countless times. Those words were a spell, and when I heard them, my whole body suddenly regained its calm. My emotions all slipped away like they'd never been there, like a wave departing. And then the world's color flipped inside out. Okay. My field of view expanded. My head grew remarkably cold, and I felt like my mind's volume had grown even wider than the classroom we were in. At the time, my soul was doubtlessly no longer in the small, petty vessel of my head, but floating in the air a little above it. It was a mysterious feeling of release. I broke free from the cramped confines of my skull, and stretched out my roots in all directions, as far as I wanted to. I'm just not... I gotta... Oh, God. I gotta, like, Okay. There was a strange feeling, and one I'd never felt before. Keiichi, did you take math? What's happening? And an odd sense of exhilaration. What kind of mushrooms were on Rena's bento? My sharpened senses caused me to transcend. My mind was sharper than a knife's edge, and I immediately decided that spending the time to let myself be crushed with absolute grief was an absolute waste. What, have you thought of a way to fix things? I erased all the garbage information from my brain. I expelled the pointless emotions presenting obstacles to action. I'm gonna do something? If I could have taken back what had happened by crying about it, I'd have cried all day. But the fact was, this was how things had turned out. I couldn't take back what had happened. The top priority, then, would be to prevent the situation from worsening further and to sever the chains of misfortune. Until today, I've been looking at things so narrow-mindedly, I could scarcely believe it. I mean, obviously, taking Satoko somewhere beyond, against her will, is a better solution than what's happening now, right? Like, if Keiichi is thinking all this and he's like, oh, I have a solution, and he grabs Satoko and runs to, I don't know, to his house with her, I'm down with that, right? Obviously, it's so fucking horrible and so awful that of course, right, like, it would be so much better than what's happening now to do that, right? Like, so maybe I've been trash talking that idea too much, because maybe that's just, like, real, right? Like, maybe that's just, like, what we should do. I just don't know. But again, that's not a long-term solution unless we murder Teppei, so I don't know, because that's not going to fix anything long-term, right? Like, I just don't know, right? But maybe we just need to look for a short-term solution first, and then look for a long-term one afterwards, right? Like, to save Satoko, the only thing to do was to save Satoko. That's the only thing I thought about. I didn't allow myself to realize the most basic, direct, and certain way of removing the source of Satoko's unhappiness. No, actually, I realized it yesterday. But as for the means, I relied on some stupid curse and some deity. I never considered carrying the task out for myself. Yes, I would obliterate Satoko's uncle. Fuck yeah, kill him. Mash him into paste. I mean, like, oh my god, he needs to sink into the swamp. Man, everything that has happened to everyone else in the story so far, do it to him. Like, yes, do it. Kill him. Yes. There were plenty of ways to do it. This was a task that held infinite methods. Ironically, the method of saving Satoko required mostly money, but the method of killing the man pretty much took no money at all. I could kill him with the least amount of investment. The least amount of money suited him. It was only the weight of his life. Yeah, worth fucking nothing. I kept eliminating needless, worthless information from my head, replenishing it with the only knowledge I needed to achieve my goal. I used every cell in my brain to think about how I'd kill him. The way I killed him didn't matter. I would allow any method, from whatever time and whatever country, as long as it ended in a quick and certain death. If I were to have an additional condition, it would be to not get caught. Who cares about that though, right? Removing him was an act designed to return the peaceful times we had with Satoko. If I was arrested in exchange for the removal, then we might as well have killed each other. That's fine. With only him gone, we'd go back to our normal lives. That was my supreme objective, my ultimate goal. Kill him, definitely. But definitely don't leave evidence either. Two alternatives at odds with one another. The condition of not leaving a trace back to me automatically narrowed the number of murder methods. No witnesses was an absolute must. Fortunately, given the right time in Hinamizawa, there would be nobody around. It's like, as I'm thinking about this, right, like, what are other ways we could get Teppei out of the picture, right? If he is scared of the curse in some way, and he would think that it would kill him, or he would be the target, right? Like, let's say that's possible. We could just orchestrate some crazy shit. We could have, like, I don't know, everyone in Hinamizawa show up and stand outside of his house at 2 a.m. and scream, right? Like, I don't know, we just drive him out of town and make him leave. He doesn't have any connection to Hinamizawa, right? Like, I don't know, I feel like there have to be more fucking options. Like, it's like, I went on earlier about how I don't know what the fuck we could possibly do to fix this, but no, driving him out of town is actually a totally viable solution, right? Because he left before. Whatever, though, we're killing him. Sounds good. I mentally reconstructed the land around Satoko's house. The number of pedestrians different at different times. The movement algorithm of the neighbors. Would I lure him out or charge at him? What would my weapon be? When and where would I carry this out? Where? It needed to be somewhere I wouldn't leave a trace. When? It needed to be as soon as possible for Satoko's safety without wasting even a millisecond. Go grab the bat. It's in there. Let's ask Mion. Mion knows where Satoko's bat is. Roll up. Get in there. Rena can help you. We just beat him to... We bring everyone in Hinamizawa together. They beat him to death. No one speaks a word of it. We're good. This is absurd. Completely absurd. When I thought about it this way, it struck me how easy the act of killing was. If I could leave evidence, if I was just going to kill him, anyone could easily turn into a murderer. But our reason prevented that. It told us doing so would get us arrested for sure. In the end, being arrested by the police was the final thing preventing people from committing homicide. Absurd. If you went all the way out into the very middle of the ocean, you would leave any trace at all. You wouldn't leave any trace at all. Anyone would drop those they hated into the depths if they knew that. It was all too easy to simply remove him. I could leave Clash right now, grab a metal baseball bat or something from the schoolyard, go to his house and attack him. Oh, love that sound. Estimated time would be 25 minutes. Beautiful. If I wanted us to kill each other, it wouldn't even be minutes. I could do it in 1,500 seconds, literally. You could fucking grab that bat, run out the door, and be over there. I mean, fuck. Sounds good. I knew just how much his continued existence depended on me. He was nothing. I could expel him from this world within just 1,500 seconds after making up my mind. From what I decided to do, from when I decided what to do, he only had 1,500 seconds. Actually, if I ran full speed to his house, then it would go down even further. But he was alive. He was still part of this world at this very moment, having torn Satoko's body and mind to shreds. Why? Because I was letting him live. I was permitting him to live, so he was alive. If I rescinded that permission, he would be evacuating this mortal coil within 1,500 seconds. You think I'd let you live to breathe even 1,500 more seconds of air? I'm taking that permission back, right here, right now. You better thank me for letting you live until today. However, I actually needed much more than 1,500 seconds. I'm not just gonna end you. Getting back our old lives is far more important. It's only you I'll be cleanly cutting out of this world. They won't find a culprit. I'll forget that I dirtied my hands on the likes of you as naturally as I brushed my teeth before bed. So to do that, I'll make a special exception for you and give you more than 1,500 seconds. I'll give you a special permission to keep on living as you have until I can construct the perfect plan for your murder. Wait, Keiichi. You can't let that time go to waste. Yeah, I know. I'll kill him quickly. I'll remove him with certainty. I won't even waste much time to perfect that plan. Think back. Tomorrow's Watanagashi, isn't it? Last year, on the night of Watanagashi, your aunt died. Right. Like, oh, yeah, right? Like, we do the murder on the night of Watanagashi, cause, of course, right? Like, we have such an advantage if we do it then, right? Cause, you know, it'll be lumped in with the other ones, it'll be the whole, you know, yeah, ooh. Her head was busted open by some deviant, and her brain splattered everywhere. That's it. He's someone who deserves to be given death on the night of Watanagashi. Hey, Oishiro-sama. You call yourself a guardian, but you didn't protect Satoko. Cursing Satoko's family for the damn stuff is your own business, but now you've made Satoko unhappy when she didn't have anything to do with it. I, Keiichi Maibara, hereby denounce you, the guardian deity of Hinamizawa, a failure. We don't need you. Go back to the deepest, darkest part of your shrine this year. Besides, if you had just cursed and killed both her aunt and uncle last year, none of this would have ever happened. The curse this year, it's not on you. I'll be the one deciding. It won't be the three families controlling the serial deaths behind the scenes. No, not some vague people who I can't tell if they're buffoons or not. This time, I'll be the one to deliver divine judgment. So don't get in my way, just watch. Just stay quiet and watch. I'll obliterate him. I'll wipe him off the face of the earth. I will stomp out his very existence. Go away, disappear, and die. I'll tear your heart apart just like you did to Satoko. I'll have your blood as payment. Warg.
Keiichi-kun, 大丈夫?
Okay, so... killing people is bad. What Keiichi is thinking right now, and the line of thought he's going down, like his mental state, isn't good, right? But have any of you ever been in a situation like this? Have any of you ever seen what Keiichi just saw and experienced the feelings he's had these past couple days? And, like, you can't blame him, I guess is what I'm saying, right? Like, you literally, like, I get it. Even though I don't get it, because I've never felt what he's feeling, but I literally, like, no, it seems fine to me. It's killing time, right? Like, it is killing time. But I don't know if this is a very good thing, right? Like, you know what I mean? I want Teppei to die. I would have no moral qualms at all with Keiichi going and killing Teppei. I don't even think, like, I don't, like, yeah, kill him. Like, I don't think there would be any issue at all in my mind morally, right? It's entirely just, like, the mental state that has been invoked in Keiichi by this situation. I don't know if that's, like, a good thing, right? But then again, I mean, it's like if I agree with the goal and I'm saying he needs to kill him, then who am I kidding, right? I don't know. I mean, because, like, I want Teppei to die, so someone's got to do it, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm really thinking, if I knew someone, if in real life I knew Keiichi and he was in this situation, I'd be like, yeah, you can kill him, sounds good to me, I'll help you, right? Like, I don't think there would be any qualms there, right? Like, I'm really trying to think if I would have some kind of, like, moral issue with that. I really don't think so, you know? Rin and Mion and Rika-chan were looking after me. Had I fallen to the floor?
急に倒れたからびっくりしたよ。うなされてなかった？うなってたよ。
うるさい。黄色い声で話しかけるな。
My friends gave a start and backed away.
なんだよ。
Rin and the others, they exchanged glances, unsure of what to say, and stood confused for a few moments.
今の圭一くんの声。
当たり前だろ。
Rena gulped firmly and opened her mouth.
今一瞬。
Oh.
すごい目だった。
Whoo, man. So, I mean, is it trolling me? Is it troll? Cause listen. Okay, no, here, I gotta start from the start. I gotta make sure everyone's on the same page as me. Okay, so what is the author trying to make you think of here? He's trying to make us think about the thing that makes you go crazy, right? He's trying to make us think Keiichi is experiencing that again, right? Just like in Onikashi, right? Rena's saying his eyes were really scary. What have we seen when people have scary eyes? In Onikashi, we saw the scary eyes through Keiichi's eyes when he was crazy, right? That wasn't actually him seeing people being affected by the crazy shit, right? That was him being crazy and thinking they were going crazy because of that. In Watanagashi, he saw Mion like that entirely as a product of his own crazed, anxiety-ridden mind, for no reason, right? Like, I'm talking about in the schoolyard, on the day after Watanagashi, when Mion asked him if he had seen Shion and Takano and Tomitake, right? And he saw her have the weird eyes for a second. And we know Mion isn't the one who went crazy in that chapter. And that was Mion, right? That wasn't Shion yet at that point, right? It's still kind of my thing that I think Shion killed Mion the night of the library date, but I guess that could have been Shion. Either way, if that was Mion there, then we know those eyes didn't mean anything there either, because it was Shion who went crazy in that chapter, not Mion, right? But I feel like a lot of people would finish Watanagashi thinking it actually was Mion who went crazy and not Shion, right? So, relating the idea of people going crazy and wanting to murder people to the eyes is almost fully like a red herring in my mind, right? Like, I don't know if it really means anything. And the reason why I think this is important is because in Onikashi, Keiichi's homicidal thoughts were nothing like this, right? It wasn't like this at all. This is very different than the way he was thinking and saying things in Onikashi, when we know he was going crazy and was being affected by the shit that makes you go crazy, right? Remember, I don't remember when it was, but he was in his house thinking about how, like, Tomitake did deserve to die, and he was just thinking crazy, insane shit, right? This was so cold and calculated compared to that. This is so different. I don't think this is Keiichi being affected by it, let alone the fact that I also don't think they're going to do it again. I don't think they're going to have Keiichi be affected by it again when he already was in Onikashi, But of course, I also have to remember that this could be like an intentional, like, troll, not a troll, but like a red herring from the author. Because I feel like also in Onikashi, a lot of people could finish that not thinking that Keiichi was just going crazy, and they took the events like more at face value, right? Okay. I got all that figured out, right?
目？光の角度でそう見えたんだろう。バカバカしい。
見間違いじゃないよ。あんな目、初めて見た。
What were these guys talking about? I mean, obviously there were the crazy eyes. But it's so hard. Anytime we see crazy eyes through Keiichi's point of view, he has an anxiety disorder, okay? Like, it's hard to, like, I don't know. Like, because now I'm thinking about on the night when they were looking for Rika and Satoko, when Shion was going crazy, screaming about Satoko being cursed. Like, yeah, I guess she did have, we got, like, we got the picture with the red eyes, and the crazy shit, right? But what were these guys talking about? They've all been too scared of me lately. Okay, we are really going all in, huh? What was Rena saying? Who else do I look like except Keiichi Maibara? The look I gave her seemed to speak quite elegantly to those irritated thoughts. She understood and quickly apologized. Okay. No. The author's trolling me. The author's trolling me. I don't think this is it at all. I don't think Keiichi's being affected by the crazy shit at all, right? Like but it's interesting because I don't want to say that's fully the author trolling me, such it being a red herring, you know? Because he certainly does have the murderous intent, right? I wonder if more so that's almost supposed to be like a hint at the idea that, like previously when people seemed like they were crazy, they weren't actually crazy, like through Keiichi's eyes. I don't know. It's so hard to tell because like I always try and like think about the author's intentions with like stuff like that, like through the mind of like the average person reading this, and I guess I don't know what the average person reading this would be thinking at this moment, you know? So I don't know. Anyway, let's read the tips. Emergency. Fuck. June 18th, 1983. Abuse issues regarding Satoko Hojo. Urgent. We propose that Satoko Hojo must be taken into immediate custody based on the items below. 1. Family situation. Life with adoptive father, who recently returned to Hinamizawa, has already turned disastrous, and she is currently subject to endurable physical and mental abuse from her father. 2. Child Consultation Center's response. A child probation officer was dispatched yesterday at the 17th. I'm gonna be so fucking mad. From the prefectural welfare office, but because of the 77 case, changed to continued coaching and cautionary action. Unfortunately, the consultation office head does not properly understand the situation. 3. Status of concerned child. Child already appears to be suffering from an outbreak of something close to neurosis or manic depression. If her unstable pubescent mind is negatively stimulated by stress, it will put her development of a healthy mind and body at risk. This cannot be allowed to continue from a humane standpoint. 4. Allegations made to the family court. We propose, based on the above items, that Satoko Hojo should immediately be taken into protective custody. She should be secured temporarily under emergency allegations to the family court under Article 28. We request emergency coordination between all related agencies. Okay, has that happened yet, though? No, right? Okay. Let me, here, wait, let me... Oh, fuck, god damn it, one sec. I just want to read those last lines again. Here. We propose, based on the above items, that Satoko Hojo should immediately be taken into protective custody. So, this was decided in, like, family court, I guess, right? That she should be taken into protective custody, but that hasn't happened, right? She should be secured temporarily under emergency allegations to the family court under Article 28. We request emergency coordination between all related agencies. But that hasn't happened yet, right? But that's a different info than what Mion said her aunt told her, right? Fuck. Children with Special Needs. General D2-3, number 44. 1977, something. Child name. Satoko Hojo. Residence. Hinamizawa Village, Shishibone. Consultation circumstances. Telephone SOS from child of child abuse. Abuse situation. Child claims she's being physically abused by her adoptive father. Family structure. Adoptive father, real mother, older brother, child in question. Note. Adoptive father and real mother entered family registry in 19-something. The child is the daughter of the mother's previous husband. 4. Child Consultation Center's response. On the day of the child's telephone consultation, the center called the child's school and asked of her situation. On that day, the child's welfare officer on duty visited the child's house and conducted an interview. The adoptive father sincerely listened to instruction and agreed to take child-raising workshops in the city from now on. As part of the suggested coaching, the center will continue to observe the situation. Other notes. As a result of numerous counseling sessions at the city's educational consultation office regarding the child, we learned that there was a high possibility the cause of the child's excessive distrust towards her adoptive father was the result of a lack of communication. The abuse she claimed hadn't actually taken place, and she had made a false report to distance herself from her adoptive father. Below is a note written in pencil by the person on duty at the time. The problem appeared to be more with the daughter. Chief Investigator F of the city's Education Consultation Office said that most of her stories of abuse were likely fabrications. Fuck you. They decided to shift the focus of their coaching to the child. Be cautious not to take everything the child says as truth. Good. You would think, though, if they were being cautious to not take everything she said as truth, they would be cautious about her saying that she's not being abused. I don't know, but of course not, right? That's less work for them. If she just says, oh, I'm not being abused, it's still fine, right? Whatever. Okay. That was just awful. Like, it's so bad, guy. It's so bad. Oh, fuck. Whatever. I guess that's it. Okay. Yeah. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Subscribe if you hate Tepe. And I guess I'll see you in the next one.